Hi, my name is Eddie Santos. I'm a retired Army Sergeant with more than 23 years, and I am a disabled vet. I've been all over the place trying to get assistance for my disability. And as for right now, the only person that seemed to help me out was when I went to the congressman's office, tried to get some assistance for him to help me get my prosthetic leg fixed. So finally the congressman had me the opportunity to go to Palo Alto in San Jose, California, where they finally fixed my prosthetic. If you need help and you seem to not get it anywhere, you should go see our congressman with the people he has there to help us veterans get what we need and what we deserve for doing our time in service for the freedom of our island and for our country.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using island cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, tasted their food and everything, we definitely used them again because their service and food is just awesome.
I'll ride with the horses, I'll swim through the sea, I'll climb to the mountain tops, won't you come follow me? I'll take time to notice all that I see, and after I've come so far, you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. But life is a vision, that's how it should be. The world is a canvas, and the choices are free. At the end of the journey, where all is complete, they'll all wonder where I've gone, but you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. Our dreams last forever, for all that we know. The roads come together, and that's where we'll go.
The Pampas
and elite wish we go away.
because we are
real and direct.
no interest owns us.
And we have no interest but
The truth. Together we are exposing
corruption.
Together we will reform criminal justice.
Together
We are fighting violence
against women and children.
we here at
Candid
Will shine the light on every corner of darkness.
Together we are giving a voice
to the voiceless.
and forgotten.
stay lit.
Together.
Together,
Together.
Together
we are giving a voice to the voiceless and forgotten.
We are Candid News Group.
Buenas Marianas and Micronesia, I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
Welcome to our studios here in Tumon, Guam. It is Tuesday, May 19, 2020. It is now 2 months and 5 days into the public health emergency. And well, it's a hot day, right?
Super hot.
It was a super hot day.
Yeah.
How was your
Yeah.
day besides being
Wonderful.
hot? Wonderful?
Wonderful.
Now, it was not a wonderful day for Janela Carrera. So, buenas to everyone and a wonderful day that you're having, except for Janela Carrera. And all jokes aside about the Director of Communications for the Governor, let's address the big elephant in the room.
Okay.
And it's not my fat butt.
And neither mine.
And
Neither mine.
You don't have a fat butt.
I do. I do.
I will trip you. Skinny. Without getting trashy or racy about the subject, it is what it is. There is footage of the governor's director of communications in a rather racy situation, well, a pornographic situation.
Mm-hmm.
And the governor's office can't go much longer without addressing this issue.
Well, they said it's not her.
Oh no.
They said they fakely put that mole.
So prior to having an O,
Yeah.
you just decide to mark a mole on
Yeah.
your face so that you look
Someone
like.
did that to ruin her career.
Oh, I'm sure.
Supposedly.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure that's exactly what it is. But aside from that, it's not just, it's not just this. And believe me, if I had done even 10% of what Janela Carrera did, first of all, I would resign.
Mm-hmm.
But if I didn't resign, if I was selfish enough and stupid enough not to resign in her position, I would have been fired. Governor Eddie Calvo would have fired me, straight up.
Well, she's not going to be fired, Troy. There's something that is keeping her there.
Well, she should just have the sort
50
of obligation to.
Yeah.
She should, and we're going to follow that story. She should have the moral obligation to the people of Guam and to her boss, the governor of Guam, the first female elected governor of our island. And Jane Flores, her director of the Bureau of Women's Affairs, has worked very hard to instill this image that she is a governor for women. She's governor for all, but because she's the first female elected governor, she is a governor for women. You know, and this is not good for that image.
Yeah.
This is not good. This is a not good. I sound like Lulian girl. This is a not good. This is not a good example that she wants to set for especially young Romanian women.
Okay, but can I say this?
Yeah.
Let's say we were in this position.
Which was on
No, not her
Oh.
position. I'm talking about you. Let's say you're my boss and we got into the government, okay?
Okay.
And I'm whatever, under you.
Okay.
And videos come out of me. How would we address that?
I would think you being you,
Yeah.
you would resign. Before I even had to say anything. Now, Would I accept the resignation? I guess it all depends on what you would do about it. Like if you came out and said, boy, this was like way before I was in the government. I'm very sorry about this. I never meant for it to get out. Matter of fact, I'm filing a police report right now to see who released that video of me or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's an act of contrition that people would appreciate. But to say absolutely nothing,
Yeah. Or
know?
blame someone saying they made it up or they did that. I mean,
clearly now, clearly. Or is it right over here? I don't know.
oh, can I just say why I'm wearing earrings?
Yes.
It was a gift from Sandra. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Sandra. They're beautiful, Sandra. You know, my sister Tammy, she would love earrings like that. I don't know if Danielle would. No, I don't think Danielle, no, Danielle would. She
Yeah.
would wear bling earrings.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just the big elephant in the room being the images and the video that's now going around. It's also her conduct as the governor's communications director. It's also the muting of the microphones and the not taking responsibility, like the lieutenant governor said, and not addressing the media, even though both the governor and the lieutenant governor have said, oh, we are committed to transparency. Really, your transparency person is not living up to that.
Right.
Not at all. When it takes 13 days to get a comment about conditions at the Department of Corrections, even to get an answer to a simple question like, have either the governor or lieutenant governor fed a single homeless person or hungry person during this COVID-19 public health emergency? And when the governor's director of communications can't even answer that question, well, you know what, there's a problem. So you know what, Candid's just gonna ask the question that I don't know if any other media has asked this question, but it's a legitimate question, is did the governor of Guam know about sexual harassment happening within her own office between two of her people
And
at
one
her
was
office?
a superior and one,
Yes.
yeah.
And if the governor knew, about that, well, then I don't know. That's so much for the first female governor of Guam. To start off our show, of course, we're going to pay the bills. But before that, we want to show you some images. So there's been a protest that Sandra Sue and Denise Pangilinan have organized since Friday of last week. They took a break over the weekend, then went back yesterday and tonight. And each day that this protest has happened, there have been more and more people. And so this is footage from Eric. Is this day one?
This is today.
Oh, this is today.
It's from Johnny.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
Cool, huh? Does this have sound?
Yes,
I minused it.
Oh, because there's cussing, right?
Yeah.
Got it. And then,
from yesterday.
that's from yesterday? I really like that sad face one that says absolutely nothing except we're sad that the governor is in office.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
And so this protest has been growing in numbers, and it's going to continue tomorrow. The organizers, there's Denise Pangilinan, she's one of the organizers. The organizers are moving the protest to the ITC intersection where there's even more traffic. And so tomorrow at 5:30, you're all invited to come out. And truly, it was very heartwarming when I went there. I was late, of course, and I saw strangers, and I introduced myself and, got to, one of the cutest picture I've seen in a long time. Do you have that picture, Telu, of the kids with the baby? Oh my gosh, that baby's name is Caleb. Look at him. Yeah. I'm out with his mask, so cute. I love it. And it wasn't that hot either because the sun was going down and everything. So thank you to everyone who's come out already. The protest continues. There's my sister and my niece, Destiny. Hey, I love that girl right there.
Yeah, see, bruh.
See, bruh? Yeah.
See, bruh.
First cousins with a very good departed friend
That's
of
my
mine.
best friend, Chelsea.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Jackie. Is that Pam?
Government richer
Yes,
while
Pam.
people suffer. Pay frontliners. They are the true COVID heroes.
So there was some criticism about Pam, this photo of Pam, because she wasn't wearing a mask, but truly, everyone was 6 feet apart from each other or more.
Yeah.
Everyone's outdoors. This is just not such a necessary thing, for goodness. I wasn't wearing a mask. Like, it's just, no one was coughing on me.
I was happy to be there. I was happy that I wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Whether people showed up or not, I was gonna
Yeah,
stand
she
there.
was gonna stand there.
It didn't matter to me.
Johnny was early, and I called her when I
Yeah.
was leaving the office, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" She said, "It's just me and Sandra right now." I was like, "Okay, why don't we just cancel it then?" She goes, "No, Chelo, I'm gonna stand out here with Sandra by ourselves, and we're gonna hold a sign for 30 minutes." I was like, "All right, I'm on my way."
Yeah.
And then when I got there was a bunch of people. I was like, "Oh, I guess things picked up." So people speaking out against the governor. They're not the only ones. The public health nurses have been speaking out against the governor, and we'll get to those stories in just a bit. Why don't you tell us about shirts?
Candid t-shirts are available. Call me at 797-7082. We have a new look that's coming out. Hopefully I get the mock-up tomorrow. Call me at 797-7082.
There's a few of these shirts left, right?
Yeah.
Can we ask designers if they can make, the I'm out, the I'm in logo, can we make it say I'm out, and then on the O it's the Candid light bulb?
We can do that.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah? I bet
Yeah.
those would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah. Well, we should call the guy that called you earlier and get it done.
Oh, it's gonna take a while.
No,
for him.
we're gonna, it'll
gonna
get
call the
done.
other guy?
We'll call the other guy.
We're gonna call it the guy, the man.
The guy.
Yeah. I hope the first guy is watching.
Yeah,
so
me
he
too.
knows.
So if you go to Candid website, www.candidnews.com, you can view our news articles that we put out. Troy usually gets them out as fast as he can. Even sometimes he tries to hold off to put it out during the morning while everybody can read it. But we try to get out our stories as fast as we can.
Yeah, it goes to the website first. When we publish our stories, it's because it's published through the website, and then it goes through all of the other platforms, including WhatsApp. So, and I think I'm up to date with everyone who has asked me to include them in the WhatsApp blast out of the news links. But if you'd like to be included, please message me at 671-456-4237. Save my number. Again, that's 671. Can we put it on the screen, Chelo? 671-456-4237. Send me a WhatsApp message with your name and let me know that you'd like to be included in the blast of the WhatsApp news links. So WhatsApp will get the news after the website does, and then before it's published onto even Facebook. And so thank you very much for those of you who signed up already. You can also, when you go to our website, you can donate to us. There's a donate button on the top and on the bottom. And we also ask whether you can share our stream right now and share Candid Love by, it's there. You see it. It's on the computer thing. It says, yeah. Anyways. Buenprobechu.com, BUENPRUBECHU.com is the place to go online when you don't want to go anywhere. And for me, that's all the time. You can buy a whole bunch of stuff, and actually I need a Polar Pop. Maybe we should put an order in. You can buy Polar Pops, order online. You can buy Polar Pops, any kind of drink,
snacks,
alcohol, snacks, yes, hot foods. They have different kinds of things. Their main vendor, I think, is Circle K, but they also have other vendors that they get from. What it is that you sign up with them by entering your first name and your last name and your email address. It's very easy. It doesn't cost anything. And then you place your order for whatever it is, and there's a whole bunch of stuff with the prices. And then there's a delivery fee, and it gets delivered straight to where you are. It's a very easy process.
And the great thing about Buen Probechu is that 100% of their proceeds go back into the community. So 100%. That's a lot. That's everything.
Well, it's during the COVID-19 crisis.
Right.
So and they just started as well. So this company is losing money as it starts in support of the community. It's a very, not too many companies would do that.
Right.
Come on, this is and so the owner of buenprobechu.com is really doing the community a service by doing this, and is employing people at the same time. While employment is rather scarce these days. Also paying our bills, Isla Imports Guam is taking orders for custom-made and shipped mini trucks. Go ahead and cast to my screen, so people can see this. Go to Isla Imports Guam on Facebook, and you can see this. Is this the one that you like? Do you guys like this gray Honda?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
With the tires?
We need to measure the inside because Prim wants one, but we don't know if he could fit.
Are those tires like...
They're rims.
Oh, those rims are like my rims, right?
Yeah, maybe a smaller version.
Are those are smaller?
Yeah,
What is that then? Like 16?
I don't know, Troy.
69.
69.
No, we're done with
Centimeter.
we're already done with the porn talk
The
on this
69?
show.
No,
Yeah.
centimeters.
2 centimeters.
I love what Raylene Brubb was saying. You should, if anyone wants a good laugh about the events of today, go to Raylene Brubb's Facebook page and you'll see all the stuff that she posted. Anyway, look at all these. So all you have to do is DM is the Imports Guam or call. Hang on. 929-7456. Call or text 929-7456. That's Gabe Baker, and you can place your order with him. You ask him a bunch of questions about whatever, and he'll hook you up. Oh, and say Candid sent you.
Our next up is Brewed Awakenings. They are back open from 7:30 to 3:30 Monday through Saturday, and I believe. Oh shoots! Wait, I have it. Sorry, I am so sorry.
We're on a roll here. We're on a roll.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, no, we still are.
I believe Sunday is 10 to 2 p.m.
Oh, that's regular hours, right? That
no,
they have? That's not regular operations?
That's so not regular hours. They used to be open long, but I love their food. We are back on air tomorrow morning with Brewed Awakenings. They will sponsor our show.
Oh, are they bringing food over? So we can eat
yes,
on...
yes.
Nice.
They
Well,
are
try to chat along.
on Route 16, right across Napa Auto Parts. Brewed Awakenings, and it's Jess and the crew there.
And Jacob Nakamura says, I'm in has certainly taken on a new meaning lately.
Yes.
Or should we say, is it in?
Is it in?
Oh my God, you guys.
What?
I love it so much. Anyway, before Governor Luliangaro takes credit for this, can we is there a picture of John Fernandez that we have anywhere, or Maria Gutierrez?
Oh, we have Maria Gutierrez.
We have, I just love Maria Gutierrez. Chairwoman of the Board of Education. She and my cousin Shelly Gibson sent me this news today. It's news out of the Department of Education that as the state agency for the Emergency Food Assistance Program, or TFAP, under the Department of Agriculture, Food and Nutrition Services, they will be issuing disaster household commodities beginning tomorrow, May 20th. Distribution will take place from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, except on holidays and weekends. Who is eligible for this disaster household distribution commodities? Households that have been impacted as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's like everybody except for the governor's cabinet and staff. What is this? Recipients will receive a bag of TFAP DHD food commodities and a 10-pound box of fresh fruits or vegetables. Oh, that's actually expensive. Huh? I'm impacted by coronavirus. I'm gonna stop on by. Food commodities include items such as fresh apples and oranges, juices, beans, rice, canned fruits, sauces, tuna, salmon, pork, beef, and chicken. Darn. Only 5,000 bags of food commodities will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. I think this is gonna run out quick. Food commodities will be issued at the GDOE Food Distribution Warehouse.
That is
in
next
PD,
to the school, right?
in front of the school, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going south, it would be before you reach the Veterans Cemetery on the left side of the road,
Yes.
right?
Before the fire station.
Before the fire station?
Or
There's a fire
right
station
after.
there?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Or it's right next to GSA.
GSA, okay. Hey, look at that pretty lady. Look at her. Let's see. That's just details. Details. So there's the TFAP food distribution.
There, you must enter through the south gate and exit through the north gate. Remain in your vehicles, wear a mask at all times, and follow safety instructions when receiving food commodities. Walk-ins will not be accepted. Please be patient during the first few days of distribution as GDOE will be working to issue commodities as effectively and efficiently as possible.
And are you ready? Are you set? Place your bets, place your bets. All senators down to give frontliners double pay. It is like a race to get frontliners double pay.
Yep.
And it all started with...
I love it.
Yeah, it all started with the public health. So to be honest, to be fair, it all started with Candid saying 1 week before the public health emergency started, hey, senators, don't forget there's double pay that you have to be concerned about. It's a rule. You have to pay it out. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And nobody but Jim Moylan said anything about it. And then all of a sudden, the governor says in a objections letter, a veto letter on Bill 326, which is about hazard pay, but also would have reinforced the double pay provision. She said, hey, guess what, guys? I'm not going to pay it. This was already 1 month into the public health emergency while the nurses, the doctors, firemen, medics, police officers, everybody who's been working during the public health emergency was anticipating the double pay because in the past, it has always happened that way. And so nothing made this emergency different from previous emergencies, and nothing made the application of it different. And so the governor says 1 month into it, oh, we're not going to pay it because it costs too much. And so then it gets this whole train rolling. And it starts with the union, the GFT, saying, you guys got to pay it. This is not a choice. This is an entitlement. These people have been earning these hours according to the law. And then the public health nurses, when they got their partial differential pay, which was a slap in the face, they got on the whole double pay thing. And they protested at the ITC intersection. Prior to that happening, Senator Joseph Augustine started saying, Governor, pay double pay. Senator Jim Moylan said the same thing. Governor, pay the double pay.
GWA and GPA followed the law and paid their workers
and
double pay.
apparently
It
UOG,
stopped.
according to Jonas McApinlat.
Right.
And then Congressman Nicholas was like, hey, you got all this CARES Act funding. It's one of the reasons it was created was for something exactly like this. Why don't you use it to pay the double pay? And then that protest happened, and Speaker Tina Munia-Barnes, Senator Jim Moylan, and Vince Borja, Republican senatorial candidate, they all showed up to support the nurses. And then yesterday happened. It was yesterday? And then yesterday happened. And yesterday was when Speaker Tina Munia-Barnes and the governor had a news conference, and they struck a compromise called Bill 359. And Bill 359 essentially will pay double pay to the frontliners who are in the classified service, but only 120 out of 400 hours that they already have worked, and then it will cut everything off at May 10. So as the sobering news of this started to come out, and the union at first through Robert Koss said, we support this. But as the sobering news about all of this started coming out, the frontliners were like, hell no.
Yeah, so Robert Koss and the crew, they're like, whoa, hold up, wait a minute. We pull out.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Pull out.
I feel like there are too many references to our first story today.
Pull out. Just kidding.
So, all right, so the frontliners were like, no, I don't think so. So this is something that Leanne Mendiola, who is a licensed practical nurse at Public Health, she has been appointed by her coworkers, her fellow nurses, as spokeswoman for their efforts. She says, though we are thankful and appreciative of the Speaker's intent on the HEROES bill, we feel that it doesn't fully meet the terms of us frontliners. This bill is trying to replace a legal obligation for pay the frontliners already earned with only a fraction of what is owed. Perhaps they could let us understand their logic in all this, because from our interpretation, we are afforded no more than 240 hours with 120 hours to be cashed out. Our concern is this: P-Core 1 lasted roughly 6 weeks. At 240 hours, why are we only allotted 120 hours of cashing out? That's 3 weeks of pay. We are also concerned with why Robert Koss chose to agree to this without discussing it with whom he represents. If the nurses had been consulted about this, we would have helped the union to understand that it was saying yes to compensation for only 3 out of the last 9 weeks we worked. That really is a slap in the face. Many frontliners are upset. On one hand, the politicians are forcing us to agree to this so we don't sound ungrateful. On the other, we find it extremely unfair. We will not choose the popular way and continue to stand firm in our pursuit of fairness and accountability. Senator Selena Nelson's bill seems more in line with fairness and presents itself with a clear and cut resolution. That's all of that is a quote from Leanne Mendiola, who is a nurse representing the nurses over at Public Health. Senator Selena Nelson's bill, the one that she refers to as Bill 357, which does offer a clear, it just says pay the double pay.
Follow the law.
Exactly. Senator Joseph Augustine, though, along with Senator Kelly Marsh Titano, introduced Bill number 361. And it is relative to establishing proper and just compensation of government of Guam employees required to report to work during a state of emergency. And real quick, what it does. It says, it kind of mirrors the provisions of the Federal HEROES Act. So it does give double pay to GovGuam employees who work during the emergency, except the ones who teleworked. So it's if you had physical interaction with people, if you had to report into work physically, then that's when you would get double pay. That's interesting. I'm just looking at this now. So if you teleworked, it doesn't count. Huh. So now there are two bills that would seem to be reasonable to frontliners. Bill 357 by Vice Speaker Selena Nelson and Bill 361 by Senator Joseph Augustine and Senator Kelly Marsh Titano that would address this double pay issue in a more equitable way than Speaker Tina Muñoz Barnes and the Governor's Bill 359 would address it. And so even the union itself has caught up with these bills and it seems to be withdrawing its support for Speaker Tina Muñoz Barnes's bill. And according to Tim Fidenko, the president of the union, he says, during a press conference Monday, May 18, GFT was made aware of Bill 357 introduced by Senator Selena Nelson that advocates for double pay to all employees. GFT has also since learned that there is funding available that would support such a bill. We are not against any bill that supports our workforce. The better bill should win, and we support any equity that supports our COVID-19 heroes. We do not know what the final bill will look like. However, we feel our members have been equitably compensated without damaging our government and allowing money to be spent for others in need. We will seek alternative courses of action. And that alternative course of action happened today, but not by the union, but by police officer Stephen Tapasia, who filed a petition for a writ of mandamus in the Superior Court of Guam, basically to tell GovGuam, or to compel GovGuam to just pay the double pay. And he's being represented by attorney Tom Fisher. The petition was filed in the Superior Court of Guam, and that is gonna set the ball rolling. I was speaking with one of the staffers of one of the senator's offices today, and I was like, well, you know, you guys just missed the ball in it. Now it's a lawsuit. What are you gonna do?
We not only warned them about this double pay issue, but also we warned them about all the power this governor is gonna have.
We sure did.
Yeah, and I think she heard us. She was probably listening to our conversation because that Saturday, she declared it.
We sure, yep. I knew that at least one time in this show, someone was gonna stroll by the front of this office and Yumiko was gonna drive me nuts.
I feel sorry for whoever that is at the front of our door.
So, oh, there, Yumiko's still going. Just, whoever you are, if you're watching, you need to move away from the front.
Uh-oh. It might be the trash person. Let me go check. Sorry.
No, not at all. So moving on from the Frontliners thing over to the Department of Corrections for the past... Okay. So for the past... Thank you. Can you tell them I said thank you? Thanks. For the past 13 days, we have been waiting for the Joint Information Center and the Governor's Office to answer really 3 very simple questions about inhumane conditions at the Department of Corrections. And those questions are, explain the staffing situation at DOC. Why are some corrections officers working overtime when newly recruited officers are able to fill the schedule without DOC incurring overtime costs? Number 2, why haven't DOC inmates and detainees been tested for COVID-19? And number 3, why aren't DOC inmates and detainees and inmates being provided cleaning supplies to disinfect their quarters? This all stems from calls from inmates and detainees more than 13 days ago, for a week prior to that, of them telling us, number 1, they haven't been tested, even though prison officials have said that their medical needs are being cared for.
Right.
Number 2, when they are presenting with symptoms of COVID-19 and they go into the infirmary, the doctors or whoever is there is telling them, we can give you Tylenol or we can give you cough syrup.
Or amoxicillin.
No, not even that. Just
No?
Tylenol and cough syrup. That's it. Because I asked, is there anything else? They said, no, that's it. Even if they're presenting with symptoms of COVID-19, even when they ask to be tested, they're not tested. They are not being given cleaning supplies to clean their own cells. This is not even like the general area.
No, I believe it. I sent over a package on Monday, and it still has not reached.
And this is through the mail.
Through the mail.
$20-some.
Yes,
per
$22,
parcel, right?
yes.
Because they are not
Accepting
incoming physically
Yeah.
over at the prison. So this is for
I
the
gave
prisoners-
masks, I gave shampoo, body wash, all of that good stuff, what they needed, and they still haven't received it.
And so this is these are just basic hygiene supplies, and now protective equipment for these prisoners to have, because they're in confined areas, and
Right.
It's COVID-19 can spread in a place exactly like that. It's just meant for something like that to happen, and they are not receiving these supplies, and we've asked for the past 13 days what's going on. Because it's not even that. It'd be one thing if DOC was paying for these things, but it's not.
But there was they dropped off.
There was a
some
donation of a total of 6,500 face masks made to DOC, and those have not been distributed to
Right.
the inmates and the detainees. I have no idea where it's going or whatever. But in the documents that were disclosed to us, when we asked Janela Carrera, Crystal Paco San Augustine, and Jenna Blas with Homeland Security for their communications to see whether they even emailed the prison director and deputy, the warden, if any of this stuff is, pardon me, I've lost my focus. Whether either Janela Carrera, Crystal Pago San Augustine, or Jenna Blas have even reached out to any of those prison officials about these questions during the time period that we were asking for the past 13 days, all the way to March 14, to see whether this was even on their radar. The only thing where they were able to disclose were letters from 2 businesses stating that they had donated face masks to the prison. No one at the governor's office had even presented these concerns to the Department of Corrections, that this information was coming out of the prison, that the media had gotten a hold of this information, and that we were asking about this. And why is this important is because in 2018, the prison just got out of basically a 30-year stipulated order with the U.S. Department of Justice for violating the civil rights of these prisoners for decades. That they're not getting fed enough, that their quarters are not clean enough, they're for third world countries, that there are safety concerns, that there are medical concerns. Medical concerns was one of the top things that Department of Justice was concerned about. We had just come off of this very expensive stipulated order. And if the government of Guam under the Leon Guerrero administration is going to continue to ignore what's happening, they're just asking for a world of shiz from the District Court of Guam and from the U.S. Attorney's Office on Guam. So after this show, of course, I'm going to send our story and a question to the U.S. Attorney's Office and ask, are you guys going to do anything about this? Because it should be unacceptable to them as well.
And they should be receiving money from the CARES Act, too.
Sorry. Can you take the next one?
Oh, we are...
Jacob says, maybe a little off topic, but there was absolutely no social distancing and no masking that.
None.
Clinics are not getting paid.
Well, but the hotels did.
Yeah, illegal contracts with the hotels.
Yeah.
Governor Lulian Guerrero is refusing to compensate several clinics that she ordered in March to serve as Tier 2 clinics, which were converted into extensions of the Guam Memorial Hospital. Governor Lulian Guerrero activated hotels and clinics at the start of the public health emergency in mid-March. The hotels were to quarantine or isolate tourists and returning residents. She designated three clinics to be satellite GMH emergency facilities. They had to shut down their businesses operation to all other types of patients. Based on her orders, the clinics stopped their routine clinic work with established patients and took in everyone who came for treatment regardless of their ability to pay. They kept their full staffing levels operating as they were swarmed with patients, which freed up the hospital. The cost to operate fully on behalf of the hospital. Wait, I lost my train.
Sorry.
The hospital has been difficult without their usual cash flow coming in from established patients. But unlike the hotels, these clinics won't be paid for their work. On May 8, 2020, Ms. Leon Guerrero ordered her budget and cash directors to pay the 4 hotels she designated as quarantine or isolation facilities everything they had invoiced, despite the lack of a contract or any type of legal procurement of facilities. On May 11, she told Speaker Tina Muna Barnes in a letter that she will not be compensating the clinics for their part in the COVID-19 emergency response. On May 4, Ms. Muna Barnes wrote to the governor stating, American Medical Center, FHP Healthcare Center, as well as the Seventh-day Adventist Clinic have been deemed as Tier 2 facilities to provide urgent care to residents. From our follow-ups today with all 3 of these clinics, they have yet to receive a single cent, as the government of Guam has yet to adopt an MOU as required by EO 2020-06. Ms. Leon Guerrero replied to her, I am concerned that your letter unintentionally cast an untrue perception of these Tier 2 clinics, among other clinics who have worked selflessly and at their own expense for the betterment of the health of our people on the island. Like so many of the medical professionals on Guam, Tier 2 clinics has done without any arrangement with the government of Guam. We were quite clear on that, end quote. The governor's logic for not paying the clinics is the absence of an agreement to pay the clinics. However, she has paid hotels absent written agreements as well. Dr. Vincent Akimoto, one of the principal partners of American Medical Center, said his clinic will be speaking with its attorney Wednesday.
So we did speak with Dr. Vince Akimoto, and we actually spent 8 minutes on the phone with him. And I want to bring you that interview now. Oh, 1 second. Oh, wrong one. Whoops. And almost, sorry. Go ahead and cast to my screen. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. So, okay, you were saying that you're calling legal counsel regarding the governor's letter to the speaker about how Tier 2 facilities will not be paid.
Yeah, we're shocked at that statement, and obviously it's not what we expected, and we're saddened that someone would claim that our work is not essential. So I guess we're just going to have to see what our legal counsel is going to say about it. But we're going to bed sad tonight because we've done a lot of work, and thought we were working with the governor on behalf of her, taking care of our people. So,
well, Doc, I want to be clear about something. On March 18, you sent a letter out to the people of Guam, letting them know that you'll be shutting down your normal services so that you can become a COVID-19 clinical facility. Can you tell us more about that and how that has affected your operations?
Yeah, it's markedly affected our ability to take care of our regular patients because we were instructed to turn no one away, and regardless of their ability to pay, we've taken care of people. If they didn't have any money, we clearly had another obligation. We acted like we were a satellite of the Guam Memorial Hospital emergency room, and that's how they behave. They take care of whoever shows up and worry about the payments later. And so we meanwhile had to still pay our overhead. We didn't let any of our staff go. All our doctors and nurses were working very hard to try to deal with this. Some of them were scared. If everybody remembers how uncertain those times were, and there were quite a number of sick people. So in the first couple of days, we were overwhelmed with folks who were very, very sick and worried that they might have coronavirus. I would argue that our clinic at the very beginning was the leader in diagnosing the active cases. We found a lot of people who had been turned away from the emergency room without testing, and we tested them and they were positive. So we felt like we were a big part of the effort. And again, I've not seen any documents directly from governor's office, so hopefully there's been some terrible missing, because make no mistake about it, we worked very hard to flatten the curve, but we didn't stay home. We went to work so that others could stay home and be safe. And
I also understand, Doc, that the clinics, I'm not sure of your clinic as well, but I understand from the speakers that at least one clinic presented an MOU to the government of Guam because that's what the governor wanted, for her group to prepare agreements for the Tier 2 facilities, and those MOUs were never executed by the government of Guam, much like the hotel quarantine contracts were never executed. Yet the hotels got paid. Have you guys invoiced the government of Guam yet?
My understanding is that we were working off of the executive order, which I guess basically co-opted our operations and turned us into Tier 2 clinics. And, from the governor's office themselves, from public health, we were listed as the satellite clinics for people to go to if they did not want to go to the emergency room. And, we've been very, very busy doing that clinical work. We acted as agents of the Department of Public Health, of the Guam Memorial Hospital. We thought we were part of the government of Guam COVID-19 team, and we behaved as such. So as physicians and nurses and lab technicians on the front line, we did what the governor asked us to. This issue regarding the legal complexities of it all, I have really no idea. I mean, we were very busy taking care of people who thought that they had coronavirus.
So what message do you have for the governor if she listens to this interview?
Well, we talk to the governor every day. My partner's the chairman of the Physician Advisory Committee. I don't know that we have any message to her. I would argue that this is a situation where clearly there needs to be some evaluation of priorities are in this effort. We know what we need to do, and we're actually tomorrow morning going to go and do it again. So we have not been relieved of that duty. We're still the Tier 2 clinic as far as we know, and I've not seen any letter saying that we're not valued or we're not worth getting paid. So I hope it's a big mistake, and I'm not going to speak to the governor through this message. I can speak to her face to face, and she's always been very gracious about receiving our message. I think the better message that I'd like to get out to maybe the governor as well as the people of Guam is that I think we're as a team winning. The virus has been subdued. It's not killing our people like it was early in this thing. There's a lot less disease related to the virus, but lately we've been seeing a lot more heart attacks, strokes, diabetes that's just crazy out of control, people that are headed towards dialysis. So we win one fight, but our main job at American Medical Center is to take care of the people of Guam that deal with the chronic diseases that we have an epidemic for, and that's keeping us now very busy. It's keeping both hospitals busy. I think both emergency rooms are struggling and have been on divert mode alternatively throughout the last 2 weeks. And that's a huge issue. So, I mean, we had indicated a couple of weeks ago, I guess just internally, that we couldn't keep up for much longer and then neglect all our patients with heart attacks and strokes and diabetes. Not that we were neglecting them, but this is not workable. Our own patients are having our time coming in. So we were already internally trying to figure out how to redirect our efforts. But I would warn anybody who's paying attention, right? Anybody in public health or at GMH, that if the tier 2 clinics shut down and you start seeing all these patients in emergency room that we've been seeing, we're going to have to go back to core 1 because there's a lot of sick people. And you guys are already full. So, yeah, I mean, there's two issues. One is, do we deserve to be recognized for our services to the people of Guam in a monetary fashion? I mean, that's a financial and business decision that I'm not going to deal with tonight because I haven't talked to my attorney, but it hurts my heart to think that's what the discussion is about. The second issue is, are we going to lose this fight ultimately to the virus because our team falls apart before the fight is over, right? We're not done yet, right? This is the end of the beginning, and they're starting to open up, a lot of things, including talking about opening up to tourism again. Good luck with that. If you don't have the outpatient clinical care services that American Medical Center and the other clinics provide, this fight will be lost because the team has fallen apart, and internally you have divisions that are based on greed and money, and so I don't know that that's the issue, but the more I talk, the madder I'm getting, so I probably should slow down.
Okay, Doc. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Okay, you have a good night. So I don't know what kind of cockamamie BS this is, that the 3 clinics who have been providing, who have been the satellite places for COVID-19 testing and
all the government employees that have feel like they have symptoms, or if they've been exposed, they're going to these clinics to get tested.
Matter of fact, we just passed by there around 8 o'clock tonight, and they were still open with their tent outside, and 2 people who were there. There was cars coming from the back, so they were doing the testing or whatever that they do in the back of American Medical Center in Upper Tumon. It's also FHP and SDA, and according to the latest information coming out of the Tadze Information Center, or the TIC, they're not getting paid. And according to the governor's May 11 response to the speaker's May 4th letter, she doesn't expect to pay them because they don't have an agreement in place. But there's no agreement in place either for the hotels, and she ordered that they be paid. I don't know what the final price tag was.
I want to see how GRMC's being paid.
Because the governor said they're not being paid at all. She said that. I don't know what the documents say, but she said they're not getting paid at all.
Well, she said she wasn't going to do anything different if we have a second wave, besides call CDC over here, because apparently her staff can't get the job done.
Well, they got some jobs done, I'll tell you that.
No, that wasn't done. What I saw, that was not done.
That was did?
No, that couldn't even get started.
Jacob says, want to bet that GRMC billed everyone who was transferred to their hospital from GMH. So, for crying out loud, we have to FOIA everything.
We do.
Just to make sure the governor is telling the truth about something.
We do, Cello.
Sandra Seo says, if you all love our island, our people, and worried about our kids' future, please join us Monday through Friday and protest Lou. Don't forget, the protest is tomorrow at the ITC intersection starting at 5:30. Let's see. Jojo Perez says, new protests. Those with Bank of Guam accounts, pull out now. News medias don't entertain Tatlu's daily press conferences. We don't. If we as a people of Guam walk through those barricades in Adelup, GPD won't have enough handcuffs for all of us. It's public access and it's the people's office. Well, actually, they stopped their
They were
GPD.
gone today.
Yeah, they didn't do
Yes.
it today. Denise Pangilinan says, man, this is like the ultimate shiz show. Brad Hewitt says, he needs a Twitter account. Easier in the States to get noticed on the Twitter machine. Who's he? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Oh, Dr. Vince Hakimoto. I think is who he's talking about. Glenn Lujan says there will be another shutdown if the second wave comes. Siberongel Andres says, yes, back to PCOR 1. Agreeing with Dr. Vince Akimoto there. It's just such a sad thing. So these, people might think, they're doctors, they're rich or whatever. They have nursing staff and physician's assistants and medical staff working at these private clinics. And they basically have been providing these services to the government of Guam, apparently, much to their chagrin, for free, even though the governor at the beginning of this said that they are going to be properly compensated for the use of their facilities. Remember, she designated these as tier 2 clinical
It makes you
facilities.
wonder how she pushed for payment for Pacific Star, but now
She ordered the payment.
now what did she say? So ordered.
So ordered.
See,
Judge Tatlu Leonger.
Yeah, so her pushing for that money to be paid, and they paid through wire transfer. She's not pushing for these clinics to get paid, and you wonder why.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder why.
Well, the oversight chairwoman of the procurement committee, Senator Sabina Perez, is wondering why as well. And on Thursday at 5 p.m., she's hosting a virtual oversight hearing on the procurement of those hotels. And of course, Candid will bring that to you. Oh gosh, we have to split ourselves between the protests and between the oversight
You
hearing.
can do the oversight hearing, and I can do the protest.
You'll go to the protest?
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe we can ask Carlos to help out, right? So we have...
We got this.
No, we need cameras at protest and camera here. That's why.
I can do the camera thing. I'll just lower my voice.
So we'll call Carlos to... I know you got it, Chelu. But I know, just like me, you don't know those buttons on that camera.
I know, I don't. No, I was going to use my phone.
Oh, okay.
My company provided iPhone. Okay?
So Senator Sabina Perez is having an oversight hearing about the procurement of these hotels, and rightfully so. Thank goodness someone's doing something about the procurement of these hotels. And in a letter to Senator Sabina Perez, Senator Jim Moylan is saying, yo, Senator, I appreciate that you're having this oversight hearing, but you have to compel members of Adelup, the governor's staff, to come to this oversight hearing because I've got some questions, says Senator Jim Moylan. And among those questions is, what happened with the use of Linda DeNorcy's digital signature? So on March 18, Governor Lulian Guerrero filed the first in the procurement record for the hotels. There were 4 letters. They were identical except for the address block. So one to Hotel Santa Fe, Wyndham Gardens, Days Inn, and Pacific Star Hotel. Dated March 18, originally with Governor Lulian Guerrero's signature, these were the designation letters for those hotels to be the QFACs, or the quarantine and isolation facilities for incoming travelers and returning residents. On April 1st, that letter changed. There was a second iteration of the letter, and it was when June Borja sent a email to Lori Timanning. June Borja and Lori Timanning work in the Office of Legal Counsel under Legal Counsel Hai Hyun, who also is Governor Lulian Guerrero's son-in-law. And at 5:07 p.m. on April 1, 2020, June Borja sent an email to Lori Timanning and said, Sofia Diaz has approved for you to amend the attached letter with Governor Lulian Guerrero's signature to the hotels and insert Linda DeNorcy's digital signature. Linda has approved the use of this signature, and so she sends it to Lori Timanning at 5:07 p.m. At 5:30 p.m., 23 minutes later, Lori Timanning returns the email with the 4 new letters that all bear Linda DeNorcy's digital signature. Linda DeNorcy, after the media finds out about that, says, I did not approve my digital signature.
I don't
for those
recall
letters.
the call.
And then she says, I don't recall the call in the oversight hearing that Senator Sharice Terlaki has. And so Senator Jim Moylan wants to know, what is the truth? And in order for Senator Jim Moylan and the members of the legislature and the public to know what the truth is, they need to subpoena Hai Hyun, Lori Manning, and June Borja to
Correct.
appear before the oversight hearing. And we have not received any word back from Senator Sabina Perez's office whether she in fact will issue those subpoenas, and it'll be the first time in the 35th Guam legislature that subpoenas would be issued. But if subpoenas are issued for those three people, that will be a very interesting oversight hearing, because maybe Hai Hyun doesn't mind lying, but Lori Manning and June Borja, their names are on this. There is a public record of them exchanging letters bearing Linda DeNorcy's apparently forged signature that she does not recall giving anyone approval to get those signatures.
Right.
And as Lori Manning and June Borja should know, if you lie while you're under oath, you can go to jail. That's perjury. And they will be subpoenaed, hopefully, by Senator Sabina Perez. In a letter to the senator, Senator Jim Moylan today said, because of the contentious nature of this hearing, it is possible that key personnel from the administration may not attend, and if the objectives of the discussion are to address vital questions, it is critical that we assure maximum participation. It is with this that I humbly request that you, as the chairperson of the standing committee, consider utilizing your authority to subpoena those key individuals who elect not to participate on Thursday to indeed attend. While I respect the trust the process concept, we also have to accept the reality, and with the community tuned into this particular oversight, we need to assure that their questions are answered by the proper parties. And you betcha Candid's going to be tuned in at 5 p.m. at this virtual oversight hearing. We're going to bring this to you with a play-by-play and with are we going to play a tequila shot game for every recess taken?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, we are.
Well, I just say if no questions can be asked or answered by the right parties, they say we drink the whole bottle.
Brad Hewitt says, wonder if the good Mike St. Nicholas has any regrets working so hard for the people to get free money from U.S. taxpayers, because it's obvious that Lou is saving that money in her bank to gain interest. She's paying for her pet projects and main voting base of GovBomb employees. You know, Brad, there might be something about this whole interest concept, because I don't know if this is what you had in mind, but the bank receives interest from the Federal Reserve for deposits that sit over a certain period of time. And if I'm not mistaken, $276 million in pandemic unemployment assistance money is sitting at the Bank of Guam right now before that program is ready to roll out. James Howard says, it was her dream to be on the big stage. Don't judge. John Dueña says, just think if James Moylan was our governor or speaker, Guam will be great. Lou will give annual to the clinics for payments.
Annual leave.
Dave Dueña says, barricades at Adelup surely isn't visually what the island wants to see. Makes you think, what's next? Dave Dueña is running for senator, guys. And he's been critical of the administration even though he's a Democrat, which shows that the guy can think for himself. And he's not a politically
He's not hiding behind a fake profile.
And he's not, yeah, you're right. Sonia again says, she won't pay the police, the nurses. Who do you think is going to start staying back? We have families. Marvin Martinez says, where did the sinking ship go? Oh, it's at the bottom already. John Dueña says, how can Amanda eat ice cream with her mask on? Hold on. I need to pin this comment.
How can Amanda what?
Eat ice cream with her mask on. She will find a way, Cello. She will find
It acts as a filter, Cello.
She does not want to filter while she's eating ice cream. That is the last thing Amanda Shelton wants. Oh, and I found out that Roy Kanata works for Senator Amanda Shelton. So, hey, Senator, go ask your staff. You asked for it.
Right.
You ask your staff why. Earlier today, we're approaching our two top stories now. Earlier today, we put out an interview that we actually conducted yesterday with Leah Metra, whose brother-in-law Paul and son Jonathan both came from the States last week to grieve the death of Leah Metra's mother-in-law, who is Paul's mother and Jonathan's grandmother. She died on May 5th. It wasn't like a COVID-19 thing or anything like that. But she died on May 5th, and the funeral is on May 29th. So they came to Guam, and before they came to Guam, the family read through the executive orders, the memoranda from public health, just to make sure that they were doing everything right so that Paul and Jonathan wouldn't have to stay in quarantine. And so they did the tests in Los Angeles, and they made sure to schedule the flight just so that they would be within the 72-hour window. The thing is that the guidelines don't say what kind of test to take. So they took the blood test thinking, you know, that's the better test.
Right.
At least in their opinion, that's the better test because it's the antibody one, right?
Right.
And Jonathan actually took the nasal swab test as well. But when they got to Guam and presented their medical clearance papers, the airport officials, who I believe were public health officials stationed at the airport, wouldn't clear them. And Leah and her daughter, who is Jonathan's sister, were waiting for them to come out when an airport official comes out and says, if your loved one hasn't come out yet, they're going to be transferred over to the quarantine facility. So she sees her son and her brother-in-law far away in a group of about 60 people about to load a bus. And she said they haven't been able to have any physical contact or anything. They've been at the quarantine facility, and they've been trying to fight, or not fight, but they've been trying to get cooperation from the government of Guam. And now they're fighting the government of Guam to release their relatives because, one, they had medical clearances,
Right.
like the government of Guam said. And two,
Unlike some people who just cleared and
unlike
they
some
had
people.
COVID.
Yes. And two, according to the government of Guam's own rules, they should have been accepted from the quarantine because they came back to Guam for a funeral.
Right.
But when Leah Metra spoke with Rebecca Respicio about it, Rebecca said, oh, the funeral's on the 29th, you have lots of time. Like it was nothing to Rebecca. That this is a family of 6 people on this earth. Like, there's just 6 of them. And 2 of them are in quarantine.
Oh,
First is
it's
the
not
Pacific
like
Star.
it's not like the Umatic one.
No.
Poker
this is
game.
different.
Huh?
If they had a poker thing, it would be within the 10 people, you know, so they could have poker games all they want and they wouldn't be violating
Right.
the social distancing thing. But let me we want to bring you at least a couple of minutes of this interview that we had with Leah Metra today. And go ahead, Chelo, and cast to my screen. I'm recording now, so go ahead and tell me about this experience.
Okay, well, my mother passed away, I think it was May 3rd. And May 5th, excuse me. And our family's just really small here. It's just myself, my husband, my father-in-law, and my younger son, Nicholas. My older son, Jonathan, lives in Las Vegas because he goes to college there, and Paul lives in Los Angeles. Paul is my brother-in-law.
This is your husband's brother, right?
Brother, yes. There's only 2 of them. And Paul is, he's basically lived in California a really long time. And so Paul called me maybe a few days after his mom passed away, and he said, I found a place that will allow me to get a test and I can get the results right away. So then I can buy my ticket and all that. And then I said, well, why don't we have Jonathan fly to LA and then schedule him to take that test too, so he has his documents, and then we make sure that you guys get to Guam before the 72-hour deadline or cutoff. And so that it was like a rush, let's do it. So it was a private clinic that was offering the test at like $250. It's 15 minutes or whatever, and you get an email, the documents that says the results. So that's what we did. Both were negative, and this was a blood test, which tests for the antibodies if they're present for COVID. So it's the test that will say if you had it, right? It'll be showing up.
Okay.
So now we took the most recent executive order, read through it very carefully, and where it said the requirements for, I guess, bypassing quarantine is that you produce medical documentation that shows that you have tested negative for COVID. So we're thinking this should qualify. We're reading it. If you look at the recent executive order, you'll understand what I'm saying, what the requirements are. So we thought we're good. So they get here, they arrive at the airport, there's 2 screening sections or whatever, and they go through the first one, the guy there's like, Yeah, you guys should be alright. Yeah, these documents are okay, but now you gotta go to that other section, right? I guess there were some nurses or some medical people that, and so they bring the documents over.
So that's Leah Metra, and if you want to hear the rest of the interview, it really is sad what happened and how she describes everything that happens and what her family is going through. It's a 22-minute total interview that we have with her. It's on both our website and our Facebook page. Already thousands of people have listened to it. People are very upset about what has happened to this family. And Leah Metra makes a point. She says, how many other people has this happened to? If you listen to the rest of the interview, she says, I've spoken with a few people who this has happened to, but they didn't make a stink about it because, culturally, we're like, just let it go. It's just 14 days. But no, my family is grieving right now. There's just 6 of us on this earth. We cannot just let this go. And also something wrong has happened. We have to say something.
Whatever needed, whatever paperwork was needed.
Yeah,
They followed that.
They did. And I just cannot stand the government of Guam. It's just
But on a happy
ridiculous.
note, could we please say happy birthday to Miss Sonia Blas, Carl Blas's wife. Happy birthday, Sonia.
Oh, she's so pretty.
She is. They live
Happy
in the
birthday, Sonia.
they're in the States. I'm not sure what state, but yeah, Carl's a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
Of
yeah.
Candid, and happy birthday, Sonia.
Happy birthday, Sonia. You look younger than us. When I see, and you look skinny too, so when I see you, I'm gonna trip you. Don't
Sonia
take
is the
offense to
mom
it. Of Dominique?
Of Dominique, yes.
She's super talented.
Yes.
So, okay, Dominique is an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia looks like
Her sister.
her sister.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Carl
she looks
is
so
one
young.
lucky man.
Happy birthday, Sonia. Now, we're on to our top story tonight, which is a continuation of our investigative journey into the Medical Malpractice Mandatory Arbitration Act and how it needs to be repealed. Candid has been speaking with senators over this past week. Well, one, threatening some of them and saying, look, if you don't like toe the line on this, we're gonna come after you in November. And so certain things actually are rolling. And we're gonna get more information tomorrow from a couple more senators. There will probably be an announcement by the end of this week about one of the senators and what they're doing. Hopefully we'll get another announcement from 1 or 2 other senators by the end of the week. We'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, we are pretty serious about this.
Yeah, we are. And so, was it yesterday or Sunday? Sunday, we started back with our investigative journey by reminding you about David Lebowski's. David Lebowski is the pioneer of this whole thing.
Right.
He came to us with his story in, was it February of 2019? And then Candid, that was when we were in our old studios in Agania. We moved to our new studios here in Tumon, and our very first interview in the Agania studios was with David Lebowski. And our very first interview here in our Tumon studio was with Monica De Vera. Can you tell us more about Monica's journey?
Monica De Vera, on January 23, 2016, rushed her son, Charles Vincent Blas, to the Guam Regional Medical City. After finding him at home with seizures, his mother believed were caused by a prescription he had just taken. So Monica was interviewed here in our studio July 16, 2019. And here's Monica's story.
Get your tearjerker.
Oh, right here.
Technical difficulties. I could not. We could not get the sound onto that video. Is it there?
No, but
Is it on the network, Cello, and I can bring it up on my computer? Or is it the same one on the network, the one that doesn't have sound?
Yeah.
Okay. So do I have it anywhere in my computer, so we can show people?
You can go to the day it aired, July 17,
On,
on Facebook?
oh, that's gonna take a while to find.
Mm-hmm.
July 17 of last year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna take a lot of scrolling. Darn, okay.
Hang on. Let me try something else.
Okay, just stay with us for a couple of minutes. Eric is gonna try and figure out. We just had technical difficulties, but this is a very compelling interview that we had with Monica, and we thank her so much for sharing this story with us. It wasn't easy for her, and it was the first time that she had opened up about this experience. And by that time, it had been 3 years since her son died at GRMC. Just all of a sudden. It was just all of a sudden.
Because of Mr. Lebowski and all of us here, she went down to the legislature and was down there
She
when
held
they
up the sign.
Yes.
Yeah.
She even spoke. She spoke
On
there.
the second one, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's saying Janella muted the mic. If I went to our site, is there a way to search by date?
Yeah, I'm looking for the original recording right now.
How do I do that? Just stick with us for a couple minutes, guys. We really want to bring this to you. We could just say hold off till tomorrow, but this was our top thing tonight. I don't know how to search within our page.
Yeah, neither do I.
Did I post it as a website story? Was I doing the website by that time?
I don't think
remember.
so. July 17 is the day. Or I mean July 16.
So they said he
Here we
could
go.
buy it.
You got it?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we got
Stand
it,
by.
folks. We got it.
Stand by.
Eric
Let
got
me
it.
queue up. Let me queue it up.
Eric's queuing it up. John Palau says, whoa, my audio. E and Bree continue to say, so did Crunella apologize yet? No, she has not apologized for really anything. And there's a lot.
Stand by. Almost there.
Denise Pangilinan already looking at the image from that video. She says, oh man, God bless her.
Okay, so it's rough, but I'm gonna play it now.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
stand by. Audio, just stay here.
Denise says, the governor and her administration are a cancer to the people. It is time to remove it. This is something that she has said on her comments on Cousin Ray Gibson's show on The Point. Check him out Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., 93.3 FM, and Bob Klitsky on Tall Tales, 93.3 FM from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Both shows are produced by The Real Joe Cruz. And in the morning, my favorite and most beautifulest cousin in the whole wide world, Mona Silva, joins her brother, my cousin Ray, on that show as well. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, let's
8 o'clock came and I still calling him, no answer. So I called my other son and I said, Jay, you need to go and check Charlie. Sure enough, when he came home, when he went to my house, he said he heard Charlie screaming from the road, help. Okay? So he called me at work and he says, Mom, you need to hurry home. Charlie fractured his bones and he can't move. I said, call the ambulance and I'll meet you at the house. Went to the house. They admitted him. They transported him to GRMC.